Hey everybody, this is Nick. I want to run through a new tool that we have. It's a really basic one-sheeter for your mobile website to check it out. Most of you have more traffic through mobile than desktop or tablet, and so it's really important that you look at your mobile website first and kind of evaluate that. And this tool doesn't get into the weeds too much from a technology standpoint, bells and whistles of the back end. It's more of what's the experience the customer is having. So anyone that you give this sheet to, whether it's an internet manager, a general manager yourself, or even a receptionist or cashier, should be able to go through some of these things once you give them a little bit of coaching and let you know how you're doing on a daily or at least weekly basis. The first thing on this list is really just to run the mobile speed test. The goal is to be maybe under 2.5 seconds, but you go to this website, there's a link right there you can click to, and it will take you to thinkwithgoogle.com/feature/test my site. And really, real quick, you just need to type in your website and it'll load your website up. I pre-populated one for this example so we didn't have to wait on it, but it'll quickly give you your site speed, 2.5 seconds, which is in the goals, and then it allows you to look at some other things too. My favorite feature is the benchmark and evaluation. So again, every industry and the bells and whistles we have on their websites are different, so it's probably most important to kind of compare your experience to your competitor's experience. Are you faster or slower than them? Ideally, you'll be faster than them, assuming that you've got good quality content and we're not cheaping on that. But again, there's other things you can give to this report to your digital agency or website provider to help you make some changes, and you can generate a report right off the top. And so kind of super simple and clean to use. Let's look back at the checklist. So the next one is real simple, just kind of take a look at your home page. So what we want to see here is the most likely actions that a customer is going to take. Inventory, specials, schedule service, those are really the biggest things. So in this case, this is actually a demo site for Dealer On. This inventory is featured first and foremost. Makes it really simple for the customer to see it, right? Schedule service right there. They've got some big buttons for some other things too. View specials is one of them. And so overall, this is a really clean site. Again, this is one of the brand new sites for Dealer On, so not too bad. Again, the other thing is really kind of digging deep into making sure it's easy for the customer on the third bullet to take action, whether that's to look at inventory, to click to call, or get directions. Again, these things up at the top shouldn't change, so those things are really important that they stand out. You maybe want to A/B test it with different buttons, maybe a phone button or a map button to draw more eyeball attention to those things, but really dive into all your different pages. So I'm just going to go to a general, let's say, SRP right now and just kind of take a look. So you can see, there's a view video, big click to call right there, so that's great. Again, there is a directions button still up at the top. And so you always want to think, what's the next most logical step from where I'm at right now for the customers? Usually there's 2, 3, 4 different options. And based on that, we want to make sure that those things are the ones that stand out and are the most prevalent and prominent on the website. And so again, just go through every single page, whether it's SRPs, the VDPs, the knowledge pages you build out, for example, the 2020 Corolla page or what have you, that we've got something easy for them to convert on mobile. Again, we should see a lot of click to calls specifically throughout this entire website. Again, the other things we want to look out for are pop-ups. Of course, this is a demo site, so we don't have maybe a chat provider pop-up or a coupon, but you can see that they do have, an offer here, $200 off new or used vehicle. It expands, but it doesn't block anything, which is kind of slick. There's a banner that potentially could rotate right now. It just shows new inventory, but it's not blocking, the real calls to actions and the star of the show, which is the vehicle, the name, the price, those type of things. And so we want to make sure that that's good. Again, when you look at it from a mobile phone, think about, you might have young eyes, but we all get older. We want to make sure that the fonts and everything that we use are easy to read even for folks that have either their phone text minimized or older eyes. And so really inspect and say, okay, should we make this MSRP or dealer discount a little bit larger? Additional Toyota offers, does that stand out? Again, things like this where it's finance and lease, that's pretty awesome. It's really easy to read, white on the dark background. That's kind of what you're looking for on all pages. One of the biggest faults that we often see, is in the image area, which is called out on the fourth bullet. So the images that we use, whether it's with these banners up at the top of the SRPs, in the vehicle detail pages, the VDPs, or on the home page, we often check and approve them on our desktop. We need to make sure that the offer, the APR, or the lease, even the disclaimer to a certain extent isn't minimized so much that it's impossible to read. You've got to watch those things. Again, as we get into the calls to action, the CTAs on the VDPs and SRPs, really measure this. So get with your agency and ask them, how many clicks you're getting to some of these things. Again, if no one is requesting a sales price, maybe we change that to something else, or delete that. We want to make sure that the things we put in front of the customer are the most important to them. And the only way to know that is to look at the data and the activity of what they're clicking on. I'm going to click through this to the VDP so we can see more information, because usually it's a little bit more robust. But there's confirm, there's an email, there's a send to mobile. How often does send to mobile get actually clicked on when you're on a mobile phone? That would be a great question to ask. In some cases, if you've got access to your Google Analytics and you're logged into it, you can add the Google Analytics widget to Chrome browser, has a Chrome extension, and you can turn it on and it'll show you the amount of clicks you've got in the last 30 days it defaults to, or whatever time period you want. And so some cases you can do that on your own, but this is also a good conversation to have with your agency as well. And so you want to watch that. Again, look at all these different things that they could do. Scrolling down, there's more details, more vehicles that they can look at, all that's really good. The last thing that I would really encourage you to expect are just some of the other lead form pages. So, let's look at, maybe get pre-approved, for example, making sure that they're really easy for the customer to fill out. They're, credit application can be extremely difficult on a mobile phone if you're asking them to do 1,000 things right off the bat. But this is a good one here because it's saying, hey, let's at least capture their name, their email address, and their phone. And if nothing else, if they abandon on step 2, 3, and 4, we can give them a shout back and try and convert them and maybe do the credit application over the phone if that's easier. A best practice here would be maybe to have still another click to call or something like that. So, there's always a little tweaks based on, what you could do. Again, here's a pop-up coupon, an exit gadget tool to try and keep someone on the website and get them to convert. Is it clear? It is clear. Is it easy to read? Absolutely. Let's look at one more page real quick. Let's maybe request an appointment. Again, these are just generic right now forms that are on a dealer on template, and so we're not going to necessarily judge dealer on these things. But if you're going through this, is there a better story that we could tell from a mobile experience? We're asking a lot of this person on the mobile phone. Maybe we can shorten up this. And a lot of the website providers, Dealeron, since we're on this website, included where you can take some of these required things away and just have them fill out, hey, this is the time I'm looking for, this is my name, this is my vehicle, and if you need more information, you can call them back. But that'll obviously drive your conversion rate up significantly. Asking what your completion rate, how many visits you get, and comparing that to the completion rate of how many leads you get is an absolute valuable activity you could be doing with your agency on a monthly basis, if not quarterly, to make sure that you're telling a good story and you're looking and making sure that you're not missing a lot of folks that are bouncing. So I'm not going to go through all this in detail, but you can see it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your 22 Squared field rep, and we're happy to walk through some specifics. If you have a question, you wonder if it's good or not, again, reach out to Colleen, myself, or Rob. We're happy to help. Thanks for your time.